Actually, like we were sitting next to each other, and I was listening to Ethan eat popcorn.
I get nervous, and I ate popcorn like a cow the entire time. I mean, literally, when I stood up, popcorn just fell to the ground.
And he didn't offer me any. Like,
Well, I would have.
Yeah, I know, but I kept wanting
you
to
don't
go.
have to-
Most people who come through here, I'm catching them before the premiere, but you guys, I have the privilege of talking to you afterwards.
Yeah.
How are you feeling after last night?
It was great. I mean, everyone was laughing at the right spots, seemed
And
very
you know,
eager to cheer, and
We've never watched it together.
Yeah.
First of all, I love the light box. It looked great. It sounded great. And
we'd never seen it projected like that.
Yeah, and so we got to whisper at all the things that.
Yeah, what did you whisper about?
How great we are. Great idea. It was a great idea. No.
The character Lee gets beat up, and there's also jokes being played out while this is happening. And for me, it's like that's the bar of the show tonally. It's like if they're laughing and also afraid for his life, then the job well done.
Yeah.
And they did last night.
And then my tell is always at the end. There's always a moment where you can feel. I remember I was actually here at a film festival. This film festival years ago with a movie that shall remain nameless, and they did the whole screening, and right at the moment that was supposed to be the heartbreaking moment, it started with a tiny little giggle, and then somebody giggled about them laughing, and it was just like, oh wow, this movie sucks.
Yeah.
And there's a moment at the end of our show where if they think this is funny, I know they loved what they saw.
Right.
What were you looking for in your next, like what was it about this that felt like the right thing to do next?
With Res Dogs each episode, we started doing a thing in like the second season where each episode was sort of a genre piece, inspired by a certain specific genre, whether that be horror, like Richard Linklater films we were ripping off. And so I just kind of like come to this place where I realized I love genre. I love being able to have parameters and say something within those parameters. And so I want to do a crime show.
But it was weird how effortlessly I was in the penultimate episode of Reservation Dogs, the second to last, and that's when this show really started taking off in your mind.
Right.
So there was kind of almost no lag in Sterlin's.
Yeah, we just kind of it was like, well, this is the next project, and we just went straight into it. And we had such a good time working together that it was nice and we were very familiar with each other.
That was gonna be my question is like, did you talk about this while you were working on that episode? Or
it was after.
You were thinking about it.
It was after that, I was thinking about it, and then I think we talked about it when we were hanging out at the Philbrook Art Museum.
Yeah, and then you sent me the script.
And then I sent him the script later.
Yeah, but he pretended that he wasn't offering me the part.
I pretended, and
Yeah,
I just wanted notes.
He knows this. I really like him. You don't meet people that you really get along with that. You think it's going to happen all the time in your life. It doesn't happen that often. My wife knew how I felt about you, and I was like, hey, Sterlin just sent the script, and I printed it out, and I would read a page, and then she just kind of sat down next to me. We both read it like page at a time, and we were both like, this is my favorite thing I've ever read. We were just like, this is incredible. I'm like, do you think he wants me to play that part? And she said, no, you're too old. I said, fuck you. I'm not too old to play that part. She's like, well, ask him.
I trust Ethan so much and love working with him that it was like, here, it's yours now. And then he interpreted it. And I was just, blown away with how much he was bringing to it. I actually did a pass before I sent it to him of like, what I felt like was the Ethan pass, because I feel like I've been such a fan of his, and then I've worked with him, and I feel like I know the cadence.
You'd asked me, hey, would you do a part on Res Dogs? I'm like, I'd love to, but I was expecting a kind of 4-line, I was going to run a Subway shop or something. I thought it was a cameo. That's basically how you led with that. Right. And I got it, and it was this little play, and it was so in my wheelhouse. Right. But you're good at that. You hear somebody's voice, and that's what I think makes you a great showrunner. Is like once you meet Kyle, you start writing scenes. You're like, Kyle's gonna crush this, and Kyle would read it and go, oh, I can do that.
Totally, yeah.
Do you know anyone like Lee?
Oh yeah, very much so. I think that's why I responded to it so hard. I mean, there's a part of my brain that's trapped in the '90s and trapped in a ethos that I believe in, that Lee is trapped in as well, that I see as a positive of fighting for actual real intimacy, real truth, I have couple people in my life that were really Lee-like figures for me.
Talk about using Tulsa, what did you want to convey about the city to people in this versus other things?
I just, I'm in love with the city, and I wanted to show how diverse it is, from the architecture down to the people. It was founded by Muskogee Creek people, which is my tribe, and I love showing its truths and humor and love and darkness and everything. I just wanted to show a real portrait of it.
I secretly know the answer to this, but how celebrated are you in the town?
I don't know. Mayor?
No.
You're here today to announce your
I'm not.
run.
I'll put it this way.
They keep me humble.
Yeah, it's both. It's both. It was a 5-6 month shoot, so I moved my whole family down there. In every place we went to, every restaurant, we got a great oh, your friends are Sterlin, come on in. Sterlin say, hey, no. I remember once we first sat down at that pizza place, and I asked the waiter what song was on the stereo, because they were playing a really cool, it was an Uncle Tupelo song, but I didn't recognize it. Mm-hmm. And the waiter came back with the LP and gave it to me. No, if you like this song, have it. I was like, okay, I'm liking this city.
Amazing.
But that's because of Sterlin. Yeah. And I do think they do a good job of beating you up and loving you.
You got to, keep you humble.
Speaking of which, did you do all your own stunts on that? Were you?
I'm like the Tom Cruise of Tulsa. That's right.
Yeah. I was really in the trunk.
No, I don't pride myself on my stunt work. I was really in the trunk, and it was extremely uncomfortable. Yeah.